In Moroccan Arabic or Darija, there's this tiny one-letter word that can completely change how you speak and understand the language. It's the word for the, and believe me, once you get this, a whole new world opens up. So today, we are going to master it. So here's the big puzzle, right? How can one single letter have two completely different sounds? It might seem totally random at first, but what we're about to find out is that there's actually a beautifully logical system behind it all. It makes perfect sense once you see it. All right, so here's the basic rule, and it's surprisingly simple. The word for the is just the letter L. That's it. You don't have to worry about different words for masculine, feminine, or plural like in some other languages. You just stick an L on the front of a noun. Simple, right? Well, mostly. This is where those two different sounds come into play. Okay, let's start with the easy part, the moon letters, or as they say in Darija, L-qamariya. The name is just perfect. You know, just like you can see the moon clearly in the night sky, the sound these letters make is clear, distinct, and super easy to hear. And the rule for moon letters? It's as simple as it gets. Just two steps. First, you add the letter L to the front of the noun. Second, you pronounce that L sound loud and clear. Let's actually hear how that works. Let's try it with the word bab, which means door. When we want to say the door, we just add that L to the front. Listen closely. El-bab. You hear that? That distinct L sound? That's all there is to it. Okay, how about kitab for book? Same exact rule. To say the book, it becomes el-kitab. That L sound is still perfectly clear. See? You're already getting the hang of this. And let's do one more with our moon letters. Medina, the word for city. It becomes, you guessed it, Lamdina. This rule is super consistent, and it applies to most letters in the alphabet. And now, for our second category, the sun letters, or L-sab'atu L-shamsiya. And the name itself is a fantastic clue. Think about it. A really bright sun can kind of make things disappear into the glare. Well, that's a pretty good hint for what happens to the L sound here. So here's the twist. You still write the L at the start of the word, but, and this is the absolute key, you don't say it. Instead, you double the sound of the very first letter of the noun. It's like the L gets completely absorbed by the power of that sun letter. And here they are. These are the special letters that trigger this rule. So if a noun starts with a T, D, R, Z, S, Sh, L, or N, you'll know to use the sun letter pronunciation. It's a small group, but you'll run into them all the time. For example, the word for house is dar. Since D is on our sun letter list, we add the written L, but the sound totally changes. We double the D. So it's not el-dar, it's dar. Can you hear that difference? It works exactly the same for tabla, or table. Te is a sun letter, so the table isn't la tabla. Nope, it becomes ta tabla. We're doubling that initial T sound, ta tabla. And this is just the perfect illustration of the whole concept. Get this. The word for sun itself, shams, starts with CH, which is a sun letter. So to say the sun, it becomes shams. The name of the rule is a perfect example of the rule in action. How cool is that? Okay, let's put it all together side by side. This is where it really clicks. On one side, you've got a moon letter word, like bab, which becomes el-bab. You hear the L loud and clear. On the other side, a sun letter word, like dar, becomes daldar. The L sound completely vanishes, and the D gets doubled. That single contrast is the entire key to everything. So now that you've totally mastered the next logical question is, well, how do you say a or an? You know, like a house or a book. Let's look at the final piece of this puzzle. The formula here is actually really clever. There isn't a special little word for a or an. Instead, what you do is you use the word wahid, which just means one, and you follow it with the definite form of the noun, the exact form we just learned how to make. Let's take our sun letter example, dar, the house. To say a house, you just pop the word for one, wahid, right in front of it. So it becomes wahid dar. You're literally saying one, the house. And that's precisely how you say a house in Darija. So it really does all come down to this one simple idea. One letter, two sounds. Understanding the difference between that clear moon sound and the absorbed sun sound isn't just some little grammar trick. It's the fundamental key that unlocks thousands of nouns and helps you speak Darija so much more naturally. And there you have it, the complete guide to articles in Darija. This simple system of sun and moon letters governs literally thousands of words. So the real question is for you, now that you know the rules, what's the first thing you're going to try to say? Think about it, because now you totally can.